This is a positioning business masterclass, and I'm going to explain you why in this video. If you don't know me, my name is Riley Rilesikni. I'm a startup advisor and international consultant engineer. Let's get back to the video. This is a positioning business masterclass. This is not a tall latte. Well, because it doesn't have coffee in it, because I don't drink coffee, but that's not the point. This is a Venti drink. It's a Venti drink and not a tall drink. And exact same concept. The phone that I'm using right now to film this video is not a smartphone. It's an iPhone. It's not a smartphone, it's an iPhone. It's not a tall, it's a Venti. So what they're doing with this trick is that they are making you understand that you should not compare their product to the competition. This is not tall, this is Venti. Venti is completely different, and they are the only one calling this Venti, so that you should not compare it to the other ones, right? And so as a startup, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, this is something you can leverage as well. Try to position your product and services in a unique way so that there is no comparison possible with the competition. Because what you want to avoid is getting your potential customers to compare you with the competition. And why you don't want to do this is because if you do that, then you'll get into the commodity market. So people will start comparing you to the competitors, and when they compare you to the competitors, they are likely to compare the price and the features, and then you'll get into a sort of race of bidding more and more to get people's attention and to get people's buying power. As opposed to Apple or here Starbucks, they've made a competition where they are the only competitors. Like if you look at Apple's keynotes, they're always comparing their phones to their previous phones. And they always have this claim, this is the fastest smartphone ever made. And they're comparing it to the previous ones. They'll never saying this is the fastest smartphone ever made. They don't compare it to the competition because they don't want you to connect it to the competition, because they don't want to position themselves as a potential commodity. Hey, if you're a first-time founder, SaaS or services, and you're struggling with your acquisition, your retention, your growth, your scaling, talking to your customers, or you just want to have a tea time, especially a tea time, send me a DM. You see the thing? This is really smart, and that's something that you should try to do with your products. Coming up with special namings, or only making sure that you always talk about your product and not the competitor's product is a nice way to make it work. The other interesting thing about this is the marketing aspect. Like for example, if I say, if I tell you, hey, I just had a Venti latte, what would you think? You would think Starbucks, right? But if I say, oh, I just had a tall latte, then it could be any brand, right? So this is also building what we call the mental model. So it's connecting something to another idea and how you can manipulate it. If I just say, oh, I shot it with my iPhone, you would know I'm talking about an Apple product, as opposed to if I say, oh, I shot it with my smartphone, right? And so this then becomes free advertising, because every time someone says Venti, they're saying Starbucks. It's a kind of a proxy advertising. Every time they're saying Venti, they're saying Starbucks. And a lot of companies have capitalized on this very particular aspect. How many brands you know that you're using now in the everyday life as verbs? Pause the video and think about it, and let me know in the comments down below if you come with a couple of ones. For example, if I say, let me Google it, what does it mean? It means I'm gonna do a search. But if I say I Google it, that means I'm doing a search on Google, right? And so again, free advertising for Google. If I say, Can you Zelle me 100? I'm saying, hey, can you send me $100 through the application Zelle? Free advertising for Zelle. And it's very clear what I'm talking about. Okay, can you Photoshop my picture real quick? That directly means, hey, can you use Adobe's product to do that particular task, right? Now, if I say, hey, WhatsApp me this, I could have said, hey, send me this through a message or message me this. No, I said, WhatsApp me this. So I mean, use WhatsApp to send me this message or this information. And so again, the brand becomes part of the vocabulary, and at the same time, it becomes an advertising agent. And there's automatically a separation, a discrimination between one messaging tool and WhatsApp. You clearly discriminate, you choose WhatsApp, and it sort of highlights this product against another one. Same thing with all these new trends. Like for example, you're watching a video right now, and there's another format of videos. One platform calls it Shorts, one platform calls it Reels, one platform calls it Snap or whatever. Nobody's using the same term for a reason. They want you to make sure that you don't compare them, right? A tweet is a short message, but why nobody's saying, oh, let me just post a short message? No, they want you to make sure you use a tweet so that you don't compare it to other short messaging platforms. I hope you get the idea, because I can go on and on. But if you have other examples, let me know in the comments down below. Until then, I hope you understood that this is not a tall latte. No, that was not the point of the video. Please don't remember that. The point of the video is make sure you don't compare yourself to the competition, and make sure that your users understand that your product stands in a unique category so that they don't put you in the same basket, which will then lead them to consider you a commodity product. So the more you stand out of the competition, the more chances you have to acquire people and charge differently and change their mindset. That being said, that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, if you want me to elaborate on particular points. And until next time, boom!